How are you? How are you, Ni? Okay, it's a privilege to be here once more. And thanks for TEDx for all they're doing here. And it's really hard for me like to explain in 15 minutes what I'm doing and how art has changed me and the community. But first, I have this thing here with me. It's called the knuckles, yeah? Knuckles. Knuckles is this one. And there's one thing like I used to say, to be who the real ghetto boy is to be, you have to look at the knuckles. If you don't find them in the hands, then you'll find them at the feet. If you don't find them there, then you'll find them at the heart. So knuckles is really what's pushing me on. I mean, coming from Kibera, and Kibera as you know it. I mean, everybody is talking about coming from a place where you're coming from a harsh background or something like that. For me, Kibera is my home, and it will always be my home. And to start with, okay, I work with Maasai Mbili. Maasai Mbili is an art community started in 2001. And back then, anyway, we used to be sign writers. And what it has taught me, what life has taught me, I'd like to share with you. Simply this way. Nobody knew art as a profession in Kibera. They called us street artist, madmen, crazy, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then it happens like Maasai Mbili was born. And then there came this thing. Like, what is art and what is the role of art in the community? What is the role of art? If I'm painting, then my paintings, maybe I'm the only one who can tell about my painting. But I wanted something that can really associate. I can really talk to people, challenge people about the different issues we have. You know, when people talk about Kibera, they think Kibera is a slum somewhere. Yeah, it may be a slum somewhere. But then in Kibera, there's a lot of potential artistically. And while I'm talking about that, maybe in 2007, we did a project. This project was something that opened up my mind, my eyes and everything. It was during the 2007 election violence. And then everything was a standstill. Chaos, ruins, what, no harmony. Children, they just singing war songs. Neighbors turning against neighbors. And that's when I realized, like, I'm an artist. What am I doing here? I'm not waiting any longer for anybody to come and see my paintings. In fact, the first thing I did when I went to the studio that day was like, what am I painting? Because what I've been painting was somehow, before that I was looking for beauty in art. I was after the beauty, after the colors, after that. But then during that time, it happened to me like, there's no beauty in this. Well, what I'm seeing outside is just ruins, people crying, neighbors fighting. So we did a thing called Art for Peace Healing Project. And this project was for the community. And we really targeted the children. Because the children, they are in the middle of all these things. I mean, I can't explain to my daughter what's happening outside, you know, because she's seeing all these skirmishes and everything running down. So we decided as a group, let's do something. And we went out with our paintbrushes and we painted the ruins with the children. And that brought an impact to me and to everyone else. Because we need harmony. For me, art is about creating the balance. I mean, it doesn't matter. Things, circumstances, whatever, doesn't matter. What matters is how do we deal with the circumstances? How do we live? Because 2 years ago, there was a little girl coming from Berlin, and she came with her parents, and the whole question she was asking me was, how come you're living in Kibera? Up to today, I don't have any answers for that. But then, I'm living in Kibera because there is life in Kibera. There is life, and there is more than that. Because people want to see about war, people want to talk about this, but it's about us. What are we doing? Like, taking you back, when we started Maasai Mbili, we started as 2 artists. And that time we were doing street art. Actually, street art is some kind of pop art, you can call it that. But then we are actually moving around with paints, looking for shops, butcheries, things like that to paint. But for me, I feel honored when I see my works, not only in Kibera, not only in Kenya, but right now it's all over the world. And art is about motivation. It's about motivation. Because as a kid, I grew up, and I was always told, don't do that, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Okay, after a while I discovered it's not about that, it's about what can I do? I mean, first I have to change myself in my heart, in my mind. Next, if somebody else feels like what I'm doing is positive, then I'll be overwhelmed. For me, things that make me laugh are funny, but things that make me cry are the funniest for me. So, hey, I kind of feel like when I'm talking and people are listening, and the people are listening and not talking, it makes me mad. But the madder I get, the better I get to my point. Like, why am I here? What am I doing here? That's my question in life. It has always been my quest in life. What am I doing here? What the people think about me? I don't know. I don't care. So probably what Hazard has done for me. Hallelujah. So, brothers and sisters, what I'd like to say is that art for me has changed not only me, but even the people around me. Because coming from a situation where people are calling you all sorts of names, and then right now we are at the international level, and taking that art from Kibera, because people, they're taking Kibera, like, our main question was, when we were starting was, can a good thing come out of Kibera? That was our question. And right now the answer is yes, yes, yes. And if I finish off, I'll finish off with one thing we are doing right now, and it's called our anthem. And it goes like, hey! Hey!